Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the Spin Masters Batman vs. Clayface with the Batcycle 2-pack. Spin Masters just got the DC license in 2020 alongside McFarlane. Spin Masters is going to be making 4-inch and 12-inch figures. And while I personally don't have any interest in 4-inch figures, I did want to check these out. And since I really like Clayface, and you can have a small or large Clayface in your action figure world, I decided this is the one I'm going to get to test the waters and see how I like it. So let's go and check out the packaging here. As you can see, Batcycle, Batman symbol, the Cape Crusader, we've got Clayface in there, Batman in a black outfit, the Batcycle, which looks kind of decent, although it's not going to fit for my 6 or 7-inch figures. Top here, got the DC logo. One side, Batman and a couple of the action figures doing some action scenes. Other side, we've got Batman running. On the bottom here, got a barcode in case anyone needs it, as well as some credits. Then on the back side here, you can see Clayface fighting Batman on the Batcycle, Creature Chaos, Battle Clayface. So with no further ado, let's open this guy up. And I did end up getting 2 of these packs, as I wanted to keep one of them in my unopened Batman figure collection. I've got pretty much every Clayface they've ever made, unopened. Alright, now that we got these guys out of the package, here they are with all their accessories laid out. Now, I must say, I am not a 4-inch collector. In fact, I almost despise the scale. I got these just because I had Clayface, and I was hoping he'd be a little bigger. He looks like he's every bit as small as 4 inches. But at the same time, I was going to get him whether he was small or big. Clayface himself can turn into pretty much any shape or size, do all kind of stuff. Maybe I could use this guy for Claything, the daughter of Preston Payne, Clayface 3, and Sandra Fuller, Lady Clayface. So, Batman here comes with 2 ridiculously oversized gauntlets. He also has the Batcycle, and then we've got Clayface there. Before we look at their accessories, let's take a look at the actual figures. So Batman here, he's got his white lenses on his eyes, his mouth is completely covered up, he's in a black suit, silver bat symbol, kind of like a cloth cape. I'm not sure if cloth's the right word. We'll go over his articulation shortly. And then we've got Clayface here. I thought he wasn't going to have any articulation. He has a little bit more than I expected. He looks really cool. Just wish he was a little bigger. That would be fantastic. Then we've got this Batcycle here. For what it is, it looks pretty cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of use in my world, as I've really no figures that are going to fit in it. Like I said before, I pretty much just bought this pack to get Clayface to use my 6 and 7-inch figures. Spin Master here. Hopefully they're going to be appealing to some people, just not really my thing. If they come out with a 6-inch basic line, I will definitely be all over that. It looks like Batman's suit is not just solid black. It's got almost like silver or gray on most of it, and then black on the boots and the gloves, and then a much lighter silver on his chest. The color combo is actually pretty nice in this guy. So let's go and check out his accessories. Like I said before, these cartoonishly large gauntlets, almost like claws here. They've got a peg on the inside that he's going to be able to hold with his hands. So here he is holding these gauntlets or claws, and honestly, they look stupid. They look large and terrible. His elbow has rotation ability, so you can have him hold them on the side, like so. Next, let's check out his Batcycle. So this here, you can see sort of the Batman logo, almost like his face on the front. It's got little handlebars here for him to hold on to. The wheels are made of plastic, not rubber. Of course, they can move. Looks like it's got some cannons at the front here. Batman logo on the side. Rear wheel, exact same thing. It's got some fins here. Guy's going to be able to sit here in the middle. Definitely not going to accommodate 2 characters. Pretty basic. If it was larger, I'd be super into this thing. And then here he is, sitting on the Batcycle. Really doesn't look too bad. I mean, I don't think that way holds his arms on the handles look very good. But he leans forward pretty decent. His feet wrap around and sit on the pedal pretty nicely. Overall, it's not too bad. He's got that sort of cloth, sort of material cape, so it's not going to obstruct him from sitting on there at all. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the accessories and vehicle, next let's check out the height of these figures. So this Batman here, from bottom to top, is about 4.0 inches. The Batcycle at the tallest point is about 3.5 inches. And then Clayface here is about 3 3/4 inches. Next, let's check out their articulation. So Batman here, his head, of course, can rotate around. Really can't go up and down at all. Shoulders on a ball joint, they go up more than 90 degrees, which is pretty nice, and go up, down, around. His elbows are single jointed. They can go in about this far, and there is a swivel at the top. He's really got nothing going on in the middle here. His legs here, they can go forward about that far. Back, not at all. They can go out, complete 90 degrees. There is a thigh cut above here. Single jointed knees, they can go in, and there is a swivel above that. And that is it for Batman's articulation. And then Clayface here, his head can rotate around. His shoulders are on sort of a ball joint, up that far, down that far, rotate around. Nothing going on with his hands. He's got a waist swivel, and that is it. Next, let's check these guys out compared with some of their action figures. Spin Master being new to the DC and Batman license. Some of you guys out there might wonder how they fit in with some of the older 4-inch figures. Here they are next to a Mattel Multiverse 4-inch Batman figure based off the Arkham video games. Looks like he scales up pretty good with the Spin Master version. Here they are next to a couple of Mattel Batman Unlimited 4-inch figures. And then next to a couple of Mattel Dark Knight 4-inch figures. Here they are with 3 different Bat Rogues from the Mattel 4-inch Multiverse line. These guys were all from the Arkham video games and were crazy large and oversized in the games. So these guys are actually scaled up and intended to fit with these 4-inch figures like so. Here they are next to a couple of Mattel 4.5 to 5-inch New Batman Adventures and Justice League Unlimited figures. And here they are with a few different Mattel Batman Brave and the Bold 5-inch figures. And then, just because, here are the Spin Masters 4-inch figures next to the McFarlane DC Multiverse 7-inch figures. Both Spin Master and McFarlane acquired the DC and Batman license starting in January of 2020. Both of these lines are fresh, super new, and hot figures. I personally don't really like the 4-inch scale very much. I got this Clayface because I actually love Clayface, and I thought maybe I could do something with him with these McFarlane figures. Next, I would like to compare this Clayface figure with all the other Clayface figures that I have. I believe I have every single one they've made in the 3.75 through 7-inch figures. Like I said before, I really have no interest in 4-inch scale figures. I got this because I like Clayface, and I thought maybe I can use him with my 6 to 7-inch figures. Although I must say he's a little smaller. I thought he'd be oversized and bigger than Batman, but he's, yeah, wider, but definitely not taller. A little disappointed with his size, but it's all good. If I go back in time, I still would have got him. Clayface is one of my favorite Bat Rogues, and there's so many different versions of Clayface in the comics. You can have as many on your shelf as you want and pretend they're a different character. Here he is next to a Kenner Batman the Animated Series Clayface. This was intended for 5-inch figures, and they made 3 different paint variations along the way. And I believe the next officially released Clayface was from Kenner, a line called Legends of the Dark Knight. That was one of the first 6-inch Batman lines, trying something new back in the old days. This Clayface here was some sort of mail-away exclusive, I believe. They made 3 different versions of Clayface from the cartoon The Batman. This Clayface was Ethan Bennett. He was a detective and got transformed by the Joker into Clayface. The one on the far right is a standard release, and the other 2 are chase variants. The far left, we've got him looking the closest to human. In the middle there, he's in the middle of transforming, and on the far right, he's fully in Clayface mode. And Mattel released a 6-inch scale Clayface. This guy's a little bit taller than 6 inch. He's an oversized figure. It was in their DC Superheroes line. He later got re-released in a 2-pack in the DC Universe Classics line. And the DC Universe Classics 2-pack Clayface came with a mud-splattered Batman here, sort of battle damage from fighting Clayface. Here he is next to a Mattel 4-inch scale Multiverse Arkham City Clayface. This guy here is actually scaled up the same as this Clayface, the smaller one. These guys are both intended to work with 4-inch figures. I actually got this Clayface because he fits in pretty good with my 6 and 7-inch figures as is. Here he is next to a DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Clayface. This guy here is intended to fit in with 6-inch figures, and he's oversized, so he works great for your DC Universe Classics or even DC Direct figures. And that Clayface came with an alternate head that I always thought was a nice little sort of piece of Clayface. Maybe he's small, moving a little puddle, sliding into a sewer grate or something. Here he is next to a DC Direct or DC Collectibles Arkham City Clayface. This guy is absolutely huge and oversized, just like he was in the game. He's intended to be with his 7-inch figures, and he's well over twice that tall. Here he is next to an Imaginext Clayface. Here he is next to a Mini-Mate of Clayface. Here he is next to a Mattel Batman Unlimited 4-inch scale Clayface. This was another oversized figure and intended to be displayed with the 4-inch figures. Here he is with a Batman Unlimited Clayface from their 12-inch line. This guy here is sort of looks like he's made of lava, which is really an odd choice. I got this guy because I thought, you know what, I already have one super giant Clayface. There's no reason I can't have a second one. And the most recently officially released Clayface figure was from Mattel. It was a Build-A-Figure Collect and Connect from their Multiverse line. And while this is not a Clayface figure, this is a giant Freddy Krueger snake from NECA. I've thought about painting this thing brown and using it as a Clayface. Now here's an old crappy Clayface custom I bought on eBay a long time ago and never got rid of it. I think this is made from a Spawn Violator. And here's another kind of crappy custom that I got on eBay a long time ago and never got rid of. I'm pretty sure this thing is made from an Abomination from the first Hulk film. And here's a custom that I made of the original Clayface, Basil Carlo. Back in the early comics, he didn't have any clay powers. He was just an actor that murdered people. Here's a custom that somebody made for me based off Clayface 3, Preston Payne. He's always a really weird Clayface. He had to be in this whole bodysuit because if he touched anything, it would melt or burn it. And I usually have him displayed with this figure here. Always make sure her arm is limp. In the comics, his power, where he melts everything he touches, he killed his wife and became insane. He had a mannequin that he kept and thought it was his wife, Helena. Here he is with a custom I have of Sandra Fuller, Lady Clayface. I took a Witchblade figure and literally just painted her brown. I was thinking of maybe using this smaller Clayface as Claything, the child of Preston Payne and Sandra Fuller. Here he is next to another custom Clayface that I made. I believe this one was made from a David Banner figure from Hulk. Here he is next to yet another custom Clayface that I made. This one was made with a Sandman Spider-Man figure and a Jigsaw head. Here he is next to another custom Clayface that I made. This one was made from a Fantastic Four Thing figure. And I know this is getting absolutely ridiculous, but here he is next to yet another custom Clayface that I made. This one was made with a Build-A-Figure Collect and Connect Sandman from Marvel Legends. And here he is, taking his rightful place with my entire Clayface collection. And then just another angle, looking at my entire Clayface collection. So when I first heard that Spin Masters was getting the DC line, I was like, who are they? And then I realized that Spin Masters were going to be making the more basic figures, and McFarlane was going to make the more adult collectible figures. I thought, well, if they make a 6-inch line, I'm down to check it out and see what's up. Then they finally announced just 4-inch and 12-inch, so I was like, well, I'm going to save a bunch of money here. Of course, then I saw the Clayface pack, and I was assuming that Clayface is going to be oversized. I mean, don't get me wrong, I saw pictures, so it's my own fault. And I would have got him even if I knew he was this small, but I really wish he was oversized, so he'd at least be closer to useful in my larger action figure collection. Now, I must say, Batman's pretty basic. I think these figures are kind of garbage. I think they suck. For 4-inch scale, okay, but they're nothing better than Mattel made. They're almost the exact same thing. If I were to rate these figures, I'd go and give it a 4 out of 10. Really not impressed at all with what I've seen from Spin Master so far. And I really don't like the 12-inch figures. I don't like the 4-inch figures. So they really have nothing to offer for me. So it's D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.